What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. And for those who are new to my channel, what I do is recaps of reality shows. I do detailed reviews. I may not do each and every single scene, but I go over the parts that I feel like are important and pick up a few details you may not have seen. So for those also who are new to my channel, this is the home of the #1 commenting. And just what that means is I get on all my platforms, or anybody who I feel like is doing something out here in this YouTube world. I support them, put all my comments and what I think, and I'm here with my own channel. So I look for y'all to get down in those comments, because again, I don't ask for the likes and the subscriptions, but I do need those comments. I need those comments to keep going, because around on this channel we have a community. We got the Dub fam. The Dub fam gets down in these comments. We laugh, interact, teach, learn, debate, go back and forth, and that's just the best part about having a channel. And all I ever ask in the comments is just that you be respectful. The motto of this channel is say what you say. So anything you think and you feeling, it could be related to the show, unrelated, get down in the comments. We want to hear you. Somebody want to hear you. And I don't care what you say. You can talk about Olajuwon missing a piece of his hairline, after he got the fro hawk cut off, or Katina just sitting there, just being mute like a Stepford wife. Because I don't know why at this point. I know she could get out if she wanted to, but she ain't. So, it don't matter. Just get down in them comments. That's what I ask. So again, as I was talking about, this is pretty much the Katina and Olajuwon segment, because I do Married at First Sight couples by couples in separate videos. So let's get started. We see Katina and Olajuwon at the grocery store celebrating their 45-day wedding anniversary, and he reminds me of a parent when they take their kid to the grocery store, like when they touch something or talking about anything that they say, and he get kind of weird. He get to talking about Katina wants to grab some chicken bones or something, and he talking about, nah, if you want some chicken bones, let me eat the meat and I'll give you the bones. And he just say little stupid stuff like that. They actually they find something suitable that Isaac wants to eat or whatever, because he says Katina brings back stuff he don't want to eat. So he said, well, he asked Katina, well, you know how to cook rib? And he even got Katina saying, oh yeah, I can make a rib. It's a rack of ribs. It's a ribs with an S on it, but he talking about rib or something. Olajuwon's weird like that, but he's pretty much saying that he doesn't trust Katina to make the rib, and that he's going to help her because she don't sound confident in pretty much what she's doing. And, Katina's just going to go along with the program as she does. And as I understand her, as I said in my other segments, I believe, yes, she's trapped in a cycle of abuse, but at times it's hard to watch. And she has resources around her to get out. This is a married stranger. She could get out, but I believe Katina wants to be in. I think she recognizes the way Olajuwon is treating her as just, I guess, normal behavior. So we see Katina and Olajuwon, they back at the shared apartment, and Katina she's dreading to meet Pastor Cal, because she's saying she understands that in this process she has to express her feelings, but it's kind of annoying. And I kind of get that with her, because she really would have to either fake and paint a picture of like everything is so great, or she's going to have to reveal the truth about their marriage. So it's kind of difficult for him. So Katina's meeting with Pastor Cal, and Isaac is meeting with Dr. Peppers. That's what he called him, Peppers with an S. So Katina's pretty much explaining about to Dr. I said I can't call him Dr. Pastor Cal, about how the app situation went down, and Pastor Cal was pretty much telling, going along with the maths program, where you got to really focus on what Isaac is doing and making sure he's okay or accepting his behavior and going along with it. And I don't like that because they don't stress enough, like, what does Katina really need other than for him to stop yelling at her? And it's just all about Isaac's triggers and how to be strong in that moment. And I just don't like that. And Pastor Cal wants to know, as far as like what's going on with their attraction. As far as we know, even though I don't believe it, as far as we know, they haven't consummated the marriage. And Katina was saying, like, pretty much, yeah, I mean, he's definitely attracted to me. And Pastor Cal wants to know, like, how? Why would you say that? And she's like, well, when he walked past me, he might touch up on me or kiss up on my neck or something like that. And that's how it showed, because Katina's excuse for, I guess, not being intimate, not that she should, but Mavs is going to push it on him to be intimate regardless of how their relationship is. Katina says she doesn't want to be dizzy, where like the sex is so good that she just don't realize that there's no substance to the relationship, or that she doesn't even like Olajuwon. And Pastor Cal ain't really buying, and he like, yeah, okay. Pastor Cal pretty much believe like they're both holding back or they're not trusting something. And I believe it's something to that nature, or it's definitely more there than what she's saying. So Dr. Peppers, she sits down with Isaac, and she wants to know, like, how's it going? And they're about 2 feet away from each other, like on outdoor couches. And Olajuwon just makes it sound like Katina in his marriage is like just so wonderful, like we just have so many great times, and we just go back and forth, and everything is just so wonderful and meaningful and mystical and magical. Where the conversation kind of went to the left is when they started talking about the dating app, and Dr. Pepper had brought up Isaac's tone that he's using, and the way she's kind of wording, she's saying, like, I've been hearing, and you can tell that kind of offended Isaac. So you can feel the energy, and see his facial expressions that he's getting upset. And he's like, yeah, I'll take the credit. It went left. Am I stern? Am I at times a little loud, or what does he call it? Not loud. He calls it passionate. That's what it is. Passionate talk. And Dr. Pepper was like kind of keeping her cool with it, because you can tell it was getting like real excited, but it took a higher level when Dr. Peppers brought up that Olajuwon has spoken up on Katina not being at a mature level, or that she didn't have any life skills. Now you can see like he was about to lose it. He was like, like, Dr. Pepper's, I don't play that. I don't play that. It's not funny. I didn't see Dr. Pepper's laughing, but he was the only one to laugh. He's like, it's not funny. He was like, he was freaking out. He was freaking out. So he was just so upset. He didn't even really address the question, where it's about like the fact that he's talking down to Katina, or that he's saying that she's not on his level. He's pretty much saying like, well, if Katina feels that way, then she need to say no on decision day, because like, you're talking about week 1 or week 2, and that's not how things are. And I think Dr. Peppers did a good job holding composure. That was very professional, because Olajuwon, he was just getting heated and upset, and he was super defensive. And in his confessional, somebody's always, it's spit in my face. It's spit in my face. He feels like somebody's always attacking, when he actually said those things and did those things. They heard it, but he's a grown man. He doesn't, I don't do that. I don't do that. He say, she say. That's not how I live my life. He's just not going into it. So it kind of calmed down, and Isaac is pretty much saying that was like in the past, even though they had a huge blow up over the dating app. But when they have private conversation, things pretty much get better, and they get to understand each other, according to him, because he's mainly the only one always talking between him and Katina. So the couples, they're going to meet up. They're going to do a volleyball game. All the couples are there, with the exception of Noi, because she has a splitting headache. I don't blame her. She should have a headache after that financial conversation. So they Katina and Olajuwon, they're carpooling with Mark and Lindsay. And I've thought, I mean, like you see all the different couples. I don't recall seeing Katina and Olajuwon in a car together. If any one of y'all remember that, drop down in the comments, let me know. I don't recall that. But yeah, they ride in the back seat with Mark and Lindsay. They're two best friends. And they did to play volleyball. And it seemed like they having a good time. Katina, she was like falling and tripping over her. She had a hoodie on that was about four times too big. You know, she had like a 4X hoodie, but she finally took it off. I wonder if Isaac made her cover up her like a little bodysuit, even though that's how they wear pretty much like exercise clothes. I don't know if it's pandemic mode or what, but that seemed like all they wear. But like I said, it seemed like a good time. But what the couples don't know is that the whole time the so-called experts are watching them interact to see like if because the talk they had has any couple improved or taken heed of the advice that they've been given. So, you know, after everybody sits down and they talk after the game, you know, Steve, the moderator, I guess because Noi isn't there, but I think Steve is the production host for the season anyway. So he just want to, you know, how's your marriage been going, you know? And, you know, when they get to Katina and Isaac really goes in on Dr. Peppers. He's like, well, you know, it would be something. It would be something that they've given me an expert who wants to actually give us advice to help our marriage. Pretty much, it was a 90% a waste of time with Dr. Peppers, and you know, I had to catch Dr. Peppers up. You know, she was going all like he say, she say, and you know, he was talking big stuff about Dr. Peppers. And she watching, and Dr. Peppers back there like, okay, keep going, Olajuwon, keep going, and pretty much he was just talking bad about like the process and just saying like how pretty much it wasn't no help. So the so-called experts walk out on them and they like, oh, everybody's surprised because I mean it's like you've been talking bad about the teacher and she been listening the whole time and she come in the room and Isaac is shocked. He's shocked. He didn't know that all that he was talking about Dr. Pepper, she was listening to every word he was saying, and he kind of got like real calm and you could tell he was on the defense, like ready to go. But Dr. Pepper pretty much explained her position. She was pretty much telling them like, we're the experts, so we're really not here to go back and forth with you about what you think you're not doing. And I like how she handled it because yeah, it's not a debate. Like I do this for a living, so I know what I see. And she recognized that. So you know, it was like shutting Olajuwon down, but not really engaging, you know, with what he was doing because he was ready. He was ready because Dr. Pepper was just pretty much saying we go by the feedback of what somebody who watches you every day in your apartment gives us. So it's the thing, you know, people who can't learn or think they know everything, they don't feel like they can be corrected, and that's definitely Isaac. And in the confessional with him and Katina, it might have been his confessional because he's the only one talking. He was like, you know, as far as the world goes, or no one has to really dictate of how me and her get along. It's just, you know, what works for us is work for us. And Katina just like, you know, and that was the same kind of face she was given when Olajuwon was talking to the group, or more so about him talking down to her. He was like, well, you know, when I ask her about am I talking down to her, she has that same face. Yeah, like, she ain't saying nothing. That's not confirming nothing, but that's how Katina is. She's in a marriage without a voice, and that's, to me, that's like normal behavior. And as I said, none of these couples is an accident. They are here to engage in a perfect storm format. Whereas Katina has been in a previously abusive relationship where she hasn't had a voice. She doesn't feel like her feelings are valid. She doesn't have a say in it. And Olajuwon is just that guy, a guy who wants to manipulate, control, mold her, break her self-esteem down, and they're the perfect match if you want a disaster. So, and that's all it's about. It's about production. It's about ratings, and they done their job. So no longer can I be like so upset about it or so bothered by it, because again, it's like for the show. They don't want healthy marriages. Katina doesn't want better than she had for herself. She's just going along in the format because she has the issues with, her father being gone, and like I said, with the previous relationship. So it's a lot to unravel. And that was pretty much it for this segment. And, next week they're going on, I guess, a retreat in Vermont. And trips are always interesting because it brings out a different dynamic. And Katina has to find more ways to please her new husband. So that was about it. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what y'all thought. Something I missed. Something you want to add. And that concludes the Katina and Olajuwon segment. And as I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.